Hello, my name is Chris Ekpekurede. I'm an engineer, I'm an author and publisher of a number of books, and I'm an elder in the Church of Christ. Welcome to my channel once more. Now, let me tell you something. Public appearances, the utterances of people, especially politicians, can be very deceptive. You see, before a politician appears before a camera, a group of people get together and they make him up. They dress him up, they prepare him, so that in the end, what you see is not actually who the person really is. He's a made-up person. Another set of people get together, put together a list of ideas and suggestions which they script together. They are called script writers. Now, they hand the script to the politician, who now comes before the camera to read what has been prepared. So most of the time, what you hear these people say are not their own ideas. They are the ideas and the suggestions of someone else. Now, when you see a person, a politician, speaking from his head, as Peter Obi often does, that person is speaking from his heart. They are speaking what they believe in. They are speaking what is personal to them, not someone else's idea. That is why when Bola Ahmed Tinubu appeared recently before leaders of the Arewa and tried to speak like a Peter Obi, he goofed. The man makes serious mistake. He goofed badly. If you remember, that is when he talked about rats eating poisoned Holy Communion. What sacrilege against a holy Christian tenet. Now, if what he said had been said by some other person against his own faith, a treasured value of his own faith, I'm sure there would have been an eruption of Wahala in this country. You will remember that is also when he spoke about El Rufai turning a rotten situation into a bad situation. Even El Rufai, sitting not far away, cringed. The man was alarmed. Now, when his handlers saw the gibberish that were coming out of his mouth, they went to him and begged him, "Oga, please, don't try to be a speech hero. Just stick to the script we have handed you." And even he himself announced it to the forum next time. He said, "Well, I've been told to stay on script." That's what happened. Now, if you want to know who a person truly is, catch them in their privacy. Catch them in their privacy when no one sees what they really say or do. That's when you will know who a man truly is. You see, clothes cover a lot. Take off the clothes and you will see the crack on a human being. Now, the true personality of a person is what they say or do in their privacy. When a stranger or a person allows a stranger into his privacy, what that person is saying is that they have nothing to hide. That is exactly what happened not too long ago when the Njenje media visited Peter Obi in his privacy. It is snippets from that video that I want to share with you so that through them I can let you know what I think Peter Obi really is, who I think the real Peter Obi is. I have a right, I deserve to know exactly who the person is who wants to be my president. It is important, and I guess it's also important to you, Because the president of a nation is not some crappy job. It will affect us, affect generations that will come after us. Now, the question is, will the other contestants subject themselves to the level of scrutiny that Obi often subjects himself to? So we will know who exactly they are. Now, the first thing I picked from the video is this. One, that a leader is somebody who serves the people. A leader is somebody who shares the pains of the people. A leader is someone who cares. Just listen.
This is the only country I came. Poor people.
Nobody cares for them.
Nobody.
It's a privilege that you're making coffee for me, sir.
No privilege.
It is so.
No. How can you say something like that? If I did my job serving people, I used to, when I was in government, I used to who came to government to eat. It was me who served their food.
So, here is Peter Obi in a chopper flight inspecting flooded areas of Nigeria. This is what the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, should be doing. But the question is, where is he? Where is he? This is what a president should be like. Someone who cares. Someone who shares the pains of the people. Did you see that? The man suspended his political campaign to visit victims of flood across southern Nigeria. And he made some decent donations too. He got into the waters himself to identify with the pains of the people. He called on other contestants to suspend the campaigns because of what he saw as an emergency concerning the floods. But where were they? Where were they? I even saw a picture of him in 2010, he and his son, in Haiti, following the earthquake that hit that country that year. There he made a donation of $200,000 to support the victims. Now, when he was doing all this, did he know that he will contest for president 12 years later? Does Obi do these things to make a show? I don't think so. What I see in this man is one who has a natural gift to empathize with other people. That's the kind of leader we need. You see Obi going all over the place. That's what President Buhari should be doing. But where is he? Instead, recently he was boasting about his achievements in office, while his wife was apologizing to the nation for the failures of the husband. Now, who do we believe between the two? Of course, the wife, the one who knows him right to his privacy. Nigeria needs somebody who will heal their problems, solve their problems, not someone who will apologize for them. What do we do with apologies? Apologies don't put food on the table. Apologies don't provide shelter. Apologies don't provide social amenities. Leaders are elected to solve problems, not apologize for them. And that was something Jesus taught in the Bible. That whoever wants to be a leader has to be a servant. That the way up for a leader is to be found down below on the rung of service. Now, the second thing I saw in that video is Obi's humility. And that is another subject that Jesus taught extensively in Scripture. The Injenje media man who visited him at home was amazed that Obi will stoop low enough to prepare and serve him coffee. Something that the man took in his own stride. You see, the problem we have suffered in this country is that we have leaders who are too far removed from us. Leaders who are nearly unreachable. When last did you ever hear from Buhari? Now look at Obi. No cooks, no stewards. He was preparing by himself a meal he intended to take to an occasion he was built for. Hear what he said. It gives me pleasure to serve people. That is humility. That is humility. Now, here is the third lesson I pick from the video. A leader should not live in unnecessary ostentation far above the level of the people he leads. No. We see this in his private quarters where he lives. A two-bedroom apartment. A two-bedroom apartment that looks even simpler than where I live. Just watch. So, who lives in the big one there?
He says, when she comes back, I go there and sleep. Because she's there. You know, if she's not here, I don't even go there. I don't even enter there, you know. So, my functional is effective.
Very, very fun. But
I can get up in the morning, do my coffee.
But that's what they call, in Nigeria, this is what they call BQ, boys quarter. No. So how can a guy like you be living in BQ?
All these things I don't blame those who it suits them. It doesn't conflict my interest. Yeah. This is functional. When you live in this complicated one, you're looking for house help, house boy.
You said, let me digress a little bit. You know, in one of the interviews you granted, you said you only had one or two shoes. And from what I can see here, I mean, I'm just digressing, do not be offended. I can see two sports shoes here. And as usual, and two Marks and Spencer shoes. Wow.
These shoes are in the shop.
Yeah.
If you go to Marks and Spencer,
they are there. The prices are there.
The prices are there and everything's there. So when people go and pack it and put it in their hands, I like, let me take a top of my hand. This is my look. So you see that you will see another one. So when you pack all these things and put it in your everybody place, so everywhere is shoe, everywhere is words, everywhere is no. You don't need them. And that's why they need 10 rooms, 8 rooms. No, I need only 2 rooms. The only thing that you see here is book.
Yet the person in question, before he got into the public office, was almost a pauper.
Thank you. Thank you. Could not even afford those things. Is that enjoying? And what even annoys me more is when you question, he said, I used to enjoy those things.
How?
You know, no, even if you used to enjoy it, you're not a public figure. You shouldn't do it any longer. Because you're not showing a good example of what should be. Even if you used to do it in your private life, you're not a public person. Difference between business class and first class can buy a lot of seats for people in the classroom. So I don't need it any longer. Locally, from the day I became governor, until I became governor with chairman of bank in the business side of it, I've now, I now fly the economy side of it. In fact, in my last, about September this year, I argued with somebody who said to me, Peter, tell me why you should fly, why you should continue doing the economy with all the things you do. And I said, there's nothing wrong in it. It's a 45 minutes journey. In Europe, nobody flies even all these classes people fly. But then, let me tell you, you won't know the difference. If I fly economy to Abuja, Enugu, it costs me 25, maximum 30,000. If I fly business class, it's 75. He said yes. I said, okay, we're going from Abuja to Enugu. So we arrived in Enugu. I won't call them. I said, what is your village? He told me. So I said, we'll go to the village. So we'll go to the village. In the market square in his village, I called 10 women. I addressed them. After addressing them, I said, I'm going people 10,000.
The differential.
The excitement, nobody could believe it. If you are from a poor country, you're poor. No matter how rich you are, you're a poor person. Because once you say where you're coming from, people will classify you where you belong.
Based on your country of origin.
Based on your country of origin. Anybody who is from Nigeria is poor. No matter how rich you are, you're poor.
If you are from a poor country, you are a poor person, no matter how rich you are. Did you hear Obi say that? He says, large and ostentatious living complicates a person's life. And I agree with him. Honestly, I do not see this man, if he becomes president, running an expensive government. I don't. From this video alone, his lifestyle and ideas teach me a lot. Here is a billionaire who lives as a thousandaire just to touch the lives of other people. That's instructive. Now, here is another lesson I draw from this video. The leader who emerges as president next year must focus on the Nigerian economy. He must hate the poverty that is so prevalent in the land. He must have fiscal discipline. He must be a leader who will not treat our money with levity. And I dare say that Obi's track record in handling government finances in the past stand him heads and shoulders above the pack. They do. Now, I want you to listen to what he said to the Njenje man on the matter of a nation borrowing and at the same time saving money. Just watch.
Something caught my attention now. This is a book written by Okonjo-Iweala, yes. Fighting Corruption is Dangerous. I think in this book, I read the book. And in reading the book, I can't remember the chapter, but if I glance through, I will see. But one of the striking things was, everybody complains that Nigeria has no money. But in this book, you were mentioned as one of those, actually the champion of someone who was saying, let us save money. And everybody, and others, those who are shouting we don't have money are those that went to court.
There's no reason why this country should not make a law now and say, oh, we must save money. You know what people tell me? Oh, we are borrowing. I say, listen, it doesn't matter. That even Norway, with 1.something trillion sovereign wealth fund, my brother, their debt to GDP is still about 40%. So there's nothing wrong. You can be borrowing. Japan that is the debt to GDP of over 200%. You can say that it's one of the most indebted first world. They still have up to 2 trillion American treasury bonds or investment.
Again, from watching his private life, Obi is obviously not a corrupt person. Just watch. Isn't that the president we need come next year?
I went to Court of Appeal in Enugu. I got judgment. One of the judges I remember very well, and I wrote judgment in my favor. 5 of the judgments was Amina, who is now in the Supreme Court. I never met her till about 2 or 3 years when I was in government. I came to the airport one day, he was checking to the show. She was going to Nigeria, I was going back in Nigeria. And he said, Mr. Obi. And I told her, and she told me who she is. I never gave her even, what do I call, pure water. When I was impeached, the judge who brought me back in Anambra State, I didn't give her 1 cup. So when I now hear what is happening in our country, I'm worried.
Did you hear that? Obi fought and won all his cases in court. without bribing any judge. In fact, once they knew who he was and what he stood for, no judge bothered themselves to make a case for bribe. That's why the man has been preaching all this while that once the leader at the top is not corrupt, those below him will follow suit. That's why Obi must be our next president. You see, no corrupt leader can fight corruption. It won't work. The whole thing reminds me of a story in the Bible concerning the 7 sons of Sceva. They went out to try to cast out a demon from a demon-possessed person. The devil took one look at these 7 young boys and said, "Who the hell do you think you are to try to cast me out? For crying out loud, I live in you. I control you." The demon gave those boys the beating of their lives. They ran away with injuries. The story of fighting corruption in Nigeria is similar to that story. Corrupt leaders trying to fight corruption. It just will not work. And that is one of the most important messages from the video of Obi caught in action at home. Well, that's it for today. I want you to like this video. I also want you to share it. Share it and then subscribe. You know what? I see brighter days ahead for Nigeria. Congratulations.